so we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're in chapter 17.3, and we're talking about the laws of Shabbos. Actually, it's the laws of Shabbos, and our topic is hiring, lending, or leasing to an idolater. So meaning before Shabbos, and it says so we stop even though we finished the sieve, it was in the middle of condition. Okay, so we said altogether the how many, 7 conditions or 5 conditions? Quickly, one second. It's permitted under the following circumstances. So yeah, five conditions. So quickly, I'm going to go back and see the 5 conditions to remind us. I mean, we did only 4. So first condition was the idolater must take the item upon which he is to work from the house of a Jew before Shabbos and not on Shabbos. So meaning this person is a contractor. He's not just to remind what we said last time. So he's not a daily worker. So meaning that your domestic help, right? You have living babysitter. It's not going to work, right? So because you benefit. So the big idea that we explained, just to summarize, so they are doing work for themselves. Meaning what? If they took, I asked them to fix my shoes, for example, right? And he took the shoes on Friday afternoon, let's say, right? And he said, when do you need it? I say by Tuesday. By Tuesday, night, by Tuesday evening, let's say. So meaning, I'm not sure how long does it take to fix shoes. Let's say 3 hours. So he can start on Tuesday. He can start on Monday, but somehow, right? Somehow he planned that he wants to do it on Shabbos. He wants to do it on Shabbos. That's his own business. I have no gain. I need these shoes only for Wednesday morning. Let's say, right? So if he wants to do it on Shabbos, it's his business, but he has to take them. He cannot take it on Shabbos, right? But before Shabbos. So that's the first condition. Second condition, he must set amount of the payment for idolaters before Shabbos, right? So meaning we have to agree on a price, or it could be, as we explained, it could be like market price. So or he has a price list to fix the sole of the shoes. It's like, I don't know, like $25. I mean, just any number. Okay, so even he did not tell me, but until now, he fixed 3 pairs, so I know how much is it. So it's like we agreed. So meaning I'm not going to pay more or less, right? He's going to get this set amount. Whether he works on Shabbos or he works on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that doesn't matter. Okay. So second condition. Third condition, the wages should be set for entire job, and a daughter cannot be day laborer. Right. So as we said, this contractor. So for entire job from the beginning to the end, and it's maybe in the case of the shoes, it's not applied so much. But in case of other cases, it makes huge difference. This condition, I give you example of this third condition is a waiter, right? So we have a waiter, hired somebody, not Jew, let's say, for an event on Friday night, right? We have a bar mitzvah, right? When we have a few waiters. Right, so if they have to come before Friday night, right? Before the Shabbos starts, they have to set our tables. They have to cover with the tablecloth, prepare the food, the plates, the chairs. I mean, 1.5 million things, right? So, but they of course are going to prepare this before Shabbos, right? Before Shabbos starts, they're going to wait on Shabbos, of course, wait on Shabbos, and then probably clean up after Shabbos, after Shabbos ends, take the the stoves, the plates, all of this beautiful stuff. So they're going to garbage, of course. They're going to do it later, right? So meaning I'm not going to pay them if they're going to do only the set the tables and not going to do like all of the work on Friday night, right? And again, I'm not going to pay them if they only come to do the waiting work on a Friday night, but without the preparation. So meaning I'm paying them with understanding that they have to do complete job from bringing the food, all of the setting the tables, and after that cleaning up. Okay, or whatever it was agreed. Okay, so I mean with the shoes it's not a good example, but with the waiting, yeah, right, it's huge, right? It makes huge difference. So we're going to pay only for entire job. So meaning that we cannot pay only for a job done on Shabbos. Okay. So fourth condition. It is forbidden to stipulate that idolater will do work on Shabbos. Okay. So meaning as we said with the shoes, right? So he said, tomorrow on Shabbos I'm off, right? On Sunday I go to my idol worshiping place, right? And okay, so I think I'm going to go do it tomorrow. So we say, look, I need it by Wednesday morning, by Tuesday, like afternoon, it would be the best. I say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So we're not telling you, like, keep quiet, basically. And you can repeat again. So I need it by Tuesday, so you can do whatever you want. He wants to do on Shabbos, he can do whatever he wants. Right? So, but it should not be explicitly said to tell him when to do it. Okay, so this fourth condition, and now we started CF number 5. With the fifth condition, and it says the work of the idolater on behalf of a Jew is permitted only if it is not performed on anything attached to the ground, such as building, construction, or agricultural work, right? And we're going to explain why. I mean, logically understand why. It is forbidden, however, to have an idolater perform construction work on Shabbos for a Jew, even if the Jew set a price with idolater for all the wages that he will be paid for the entire construction. Okay, so I mean it's a lot to add, right? So you have a house, you're building a house, and let's say you live in another place, and you bought a house, you bought an apartment, and you need to do renovation there. So and they want to work on Saturday also. Okay, continue. It is an exceedingly present situation. One should pose this question to halachic authority, and we're going to explain. BeEzrat HaShem. Even to chisel stones or to prepare beams for construction purposes, it is known that they are to be the building of a Jew, right? An idolater is working in a street, in a public area. It is forbidden to do this on Shabbos, right? So you're not there, you're in a synagogue, you're doing your kiddush, whatever you do, but everybody knows that, this Jew is building a new house, he's fixing, he just bought it, he moved out, he lives with his mother-in-law until they fix it, and everybody knows that the Jewish house is being fixed. Big issue. Likewise, hiring an idolater to do agricultural work, such as to plow or harvest and the like, even if he hired an idolater to do all the work for a certain price, also a problem we're going to explain. And he is not a day laborer. It is forbidden. Okay. So I mean the person pays him weekly, or he's what is called the sharecropper. So we're going to explain. Maybe sharecropper is not. Sharecropper is a contractor. He just works a percentage. Okay, but we're going to explain. However, if the idolater takes a portion, here we go, portion of the produce as a payment of his work, and this is the custom in those places, that the one who works in the land takes a portion of the produce, then it is permitted, right? So, as I said, it's not a good example because meaning he works for himself. He gets, let's say, just one example, he gets one third. Is one third is a fair? No. It's not a good example. He gets 2/3, right? 2/3 of the produce, and give the landowner the 1/3, which is good, right? Because he has to pay for all of the expenses, for the seeds, for like tractors, for the tools, for everything, right? So 1/3 is good. So meaning that he works for himself in this case. So he's a contractor. Continue. If the field is situated in a distant area, such when no Jew lives within the distance of the Tchum Shabbos from it, so we're going to explain. It is permitted in agreement, in arrangement of hiring for a specific amount as well, as long idolater is not a day laborer. Okay. So that's why we stopped last time here, because it's very, very long and very involved. Let's try to understand again with explanations. The fifth condition: the work of the idolater on behalf of a Jew is permitted only if not performing anything attached to the ground. So what is attached to the ground? The house is attached to the ground. Meaning, as we said before, if he can take it on his premises and work on my shoes in his thing, there is no problem. Or he took wheat, right? For example, or he's a launderer, right? So he's going to laundry clothing in his right in his house. So I told him I need it by Tuesday night, so he can do it on Tuesday or Monday. Right, but here, like meaning that nobody's going to know that it's my clothing. But here, when he's working on my field, in my garden, on my house, like everybody see how can you hide real estate, right? Very interesting. So again, the work of idolater on behalf of a Jew is permitted only if it is not performing anything attached to the ground, such as building, construction, and agricultural work. Okay, so let's building, construction, right? So agricultural work. So commentary. By their nature, agriculture and construction work are done in open, so everybody see, or at least maybe if they don't see somebody is doing renovation, so you still hear, right? Especially today. They have a power tool, so you can hear. So there is somebody is doing renovation, right? The identity of the property owner is also generally well known. Mishnah Berurah 244, 4 and 5. Right? Everybody knows this Jew. Okay. Therefore, so meaning, but people do not know whether this Jew is working or whether he hired somebody like he's a paid worker, like daily worker. Therefore, even if all of the previous conditions have been fulfilled, it is forbidden to have idolater to work on one of these capacities, meaning in the field or like in a house, construction, renovations, because the public may be unaware that the work was arranged in permitted manner, and people may think that the Jew is violating Shabbos by having the idolater work for him on Shabbos. So, right, so they would suspect maybe a Jew himself is doing the work, or maybe he hired this person just today. Possible, right? As it is forbidden, however, to have idolater perform construction on Shabbos for a Jew. Right. It is forbidden, so that they cannot, since it is attached to the ground, it is open, and everybody would suspect a Jew. Right. So even though he's not, as we said, even though this idolater is a contractor, right, that's a problem. Even if Jew set a price with the idolater, so he's paying him for the whole contract, for the renovation, for all of the wages that he will be paid for the entire construction. Okay, so meaning like technically, before we can continue, in all other cases, it's exactly the perfect scenario. So he wants to do it in 3 days. He's going to get $25, or he's going to do in 2 hours, or like on Shabbos, he's going to get the same price. So if he wants to do it early, I mean, it's his own business. It's for his own benefit. So maybe so he can get other jobs, let's say, or he can get his money faster. So that's right. So he 100% contractor. So meaning what? If we told them that that we need it by Tuesday night, and he called us Sunday morning and said, can I come and drop off, or you can come over and take it? So meaning for sure, that he worked on Shabbos, there is no problem, right? Because again, he did it, he worked for himself, not for you. Okay. So continue. In an exceedingly present situation, one should pose a question to halachic authority. So what is the question? What is the exceedingly present situation? So this contractor said, look, mister, like we work 7 days a week. I'm so busy. So like on that part of the town, I cannot work Shabbos and Saturday and Sunday. But in your part of the town, I can. For example, where we live, if you live in an apartment building, for example, they're not going to let you to work on Saturday or Sunday, and even like after 5 p.m. or so, or 6 p.m. I don't know, right? And different buildings, it's like a different policy. But if you're in a private house, people usually do like neighbors, like nobody's going to like report you. You can sometimes like. I mean, like maybe until 9 p.m., but sometimes the crazy people, it looks like they need to finish emergency, this and that, they would do it almost till 11, which is like, it's not respectful, but still, no problem. So I mean, meaning there is some room for leniency, right? So everybody know what's going on. Right. So in a silly present situation, one should pose question to halachic authority. Meaning what? That this guy works in a building, in an apartment in a building 4 days a week, for example, 3 days a week, whatever. And you for example, you work in you live in a private house, and he said, look, if you wanted me to finish on time, I know that you need to move in on time. So the only way I can finish whatever you ask me, if I'm going to work on Shabbos still, because I cannot work in that place, I can work in your place. So what is going to be, Mr. Jew? Understand? So in this case, we have to go and ask halakhic authority and see how can we resolve this issue. Right. So continue. Even to chisel stones, or prepare beams for construction purposes, if it is known that they are for the building of a Jew, and an idolater is working in a street in a public area, it is forbidden to do it on Shabbos. So for right, so very interesting. So they're not even if they not like building the house, that they prepare the bricks. I don't know, whatever they do with the chiseling the stones. Like for example, they cut the tiles. For example, they want to pre-cut the tiles, right? And then the boss is going to come like on Monday, and they're going to lay them. But and until then they prepare the helpers, right? So it's not allowed, because it's even though they're not doing construction per se, but all the preparatory work also not allowed if it's next to the house. If he wants to cut like all of these tiles in his place, there is no problem, right? So commentary. However, if the idolater owns the materials, the beams and the bricks that he's working with, the idolater has the option of using them for another building and replacing them with other material for the Jewish building. It is permitted, even if he's actually preparing them for the building of a Jew, as long as he's not working at Jewish property, right? However, this should not be done in a close proximity of the building building site. Okay, so it's Mishnah Berurah 244:14. So it's very interesting as right, very interesting, like an exception. So even though on one hand we said he should not build, he should not prepare even material the building for a weekday, right? But it's only when he's, as a Mishnah Berurah says, if he's close to this building. But if he has a shop or something, right? And they cut these tiles for a Jew in the shop or something. I don't know, like marble or something. I don't know, like marble tiles. So you need a special saw or a saw or whatever you need, right? So and he prepared for the Jew. There's no problem. It's his material, and nobody knows that he's cutting for a Jew. Maybe he cuts for another person. Okay. Okay. So meaning that he can work for a Jew or not for a Jew. So when it's not obvious that he's working for a Jew, even if he does pre-cut these things, there is no problem. Continue. So meaning nobody is going to suspect a Jew, and plus again he's a contractor. He can cut these tiles on Monday, or he can cut it on what is it, on like on Shabbos. Like we had the neighbor was doing something, and the guy, like they were working with a stone the whole day non-stop. They saw like very, very loud. The water saw there is like stream of water, like unbelievable. So I asked this guy like why you cut so much? Like when exactly you have time to lay? And then that's how he explained to me. He said, no, I'm not going to lay these tiles. Somebody else is going to do it. So, but he knew, like since it's exactly the same size, so he had to like cut, I don't know, like 20, 40 tiles of this specific size for this master, this professional to come on Monday and start laying them. So he did preparatory work on Shabbos. Unfortunately, I asked him, like, where are you going to stop? Like, it's too much. That's what he explained to me. Okay, so it is like a practical example. Continue. Likewise, hiring an idolater. For agricultural work, such as plow or harvest and the like. Even the hired idolater to do all the work for a certain price. So meaning again, right, to plow or other things, or you have a garden, right, and he has to do something on the garden. So I mean, even though you said, yeah, you prune all of the trees, and I'm going to pay you such and such money. Okay, right. So you're not allowed you're not allowed to let him work, and right, and he's not a day laborer. It is forbidden. Why? Because, as we said, if it's in his shop, in his house, it's not going to be visible. But in the field, to plow the field or to prune the tree, everybody is going to see, which is a problem. Okay. And it's obvious, even if he's working for himself, because he works for the salary. Commentary. Even work other than agriculture or construction, work is forbidden, but it is obvious that the work is being done for a Jew. Right, anything maybe he's washing the house or something, right? So there's steam wash. They steam wash the house. Okay. To summarize, let us take an example. In the case of giving one's clothing to idolater for a dry cleaning before Shabbos. Oh, right, that's our favorite. That's what we did last time, right? Dry cleaning. The first condition would be met if the clothing was dropped off at the cleaners before Shabbos. So on Friday night, Friday afternoon, let's say, right? Before Shabbos, okay. Or if idolater picked up before Shabbos, right? There is service. I mean, I'm not sure, dry cleaning. We have a laundry service. So I mean, I'm not sure how much you pay it, like extra. They would come, pick up, and then wash, fold, and bring you back. Of course, you have to pay, but some, right? So there is such a service. Okay, so meaning he picked up for sure before Shabbos. Okay. The second and third conditions are met even if there was no discussion of the payment, since the price of each source is clear and set, and the payment is for the complete job, right? So this the dry cleaning. I mean, they have a price list, right, on their wall or something. I mean, even you cannot say that I did not know, right? I mean, like, if you agreed for his services, so this price list is there. So meaning it is like market price. I mean, the store price, and it is set. So which is good. Okay, so see Mishnah Berurah 2:14. The fourth condition required one to stipulate that he needs the work to done on Shabbos. Not to stipulate again. The first condition requires one not to stipulate. He needs this work to done on Shabbos. So don't tell me or don't tell him or even imply that you need him to work on Shabbos. So don't say, look, what time you open on Sunday? Oh, 8 a.m. I'm going to be there by 8 a.m. because I have to go to airport or something. Like that's not proper. That's not proper. Why? Because even though you did not tell him to work on Shabbos, but he's going to work, or they are going to work on Shabbos, which is a problem. Don't tell them that they should work on Shabbos, or that they be completed immediately after Shabbos. So meaning, right, so they would try to do it as early as possible. If it cannot be done without working on Shabbos, okay. If, right, I mean, technically, maybe in the winter it's a little room for leniency, but even that I'm not sure. I mean, the way I understand they take this dry cleaning, for example, somewhere else. Maybe they do it on premises as well. Maybe it's like huge dry cleaning. But where the one I use, I don't think they have on the premises. They have a big laundromat, and they have cleaning services, like a dry cleaning. They only bring to summer. So meaning what? So this the pickup is maybe once a day, and drop off is also once a day. So if you like, it's not like every few hours. So meaning to be done after Shabbos, it's not reasonable. I think maybe it's dry cleaning at least. If these conditions are met, it is permitted to give the item to the cleaners. If the final condition, so but to be on the safe side, I said I need it by Tuesday or even Monday, right? Monday night, or right? Okay. If they open on Sunday, there is no problem whatsoever. The final condition is not applicable here, since the work is not being done for something that attached to the ground, or in a way that will be evident that to the public that the item belongs to a Jew. Okay, so I mean, right? So everybody have jackets and vests and pants and dresses, so right? They just work on a garment. Okay, no problem. So which is a good example. Continue. However, if the idolater takes a portion of the produce as a payment for his work, right? So he's in some sense is a contractor, and this is the custom of in those places, so in the Kitzur places, which is Eastern Europe, and the one who works in the land takes a portion of the produce, right? Then it is permitted. So, and Rambam explains like extensively about these sharecroppers, right? All of the agreements, what is right, all of the conditions. So commentary: since the idolater received a percentage of the yield, he is considered working for his own benefit, and not for the benefit of the Jewish owner. Shulchan Aruch 243:1. So meaning what? Yeah, he's working. The Jew is going to benefit. The more this field is going to produce, the more Jew is going to get, right? But we don't care about the Jew in this case. We care about this idolater. He works for himself. He wants to produce much more, not for a Jew, but for himself. I mean, whatever he has to give back to a Jew, it's like a payment, right? I mean, you pay for insurance, you pay for rent, and that's it's one of his expenses. But he works for himself, 100%. So Sibir Halacha 243.1, who indicates that in order for it to be permitted, this must be a more prevalent custom. If only some workers are paid in this fashion, it is forbidden. So prevalent, right? So Halacha says so. It must be prevalent custom. What does it mean? That everybody assume that that's how this that's how this agreement was made, meaning that he works for percentage, and I think it's the smartest way to let him work for percentage, and right, so he's going to exert himself. Okay. Continue. It is customary for a certain area to hire workers as a contractor for a job, in a contrast to paying them for a time worked. Okay. Mishnah Brura rules that one may nevertheless not have idolater do construction work on Shabbos, since it is also common to hire laborers for the building which is forbidden on Shabbos. So, right. I mean, maybe right. If a contractor wants to work, so we have to tell him not. But sometimes these contractors, you know what, they don't listen to you. Guess what? And they will work on Shabbos. Okay. So okay, right. So I mean, if they like after the fact, if they work on Shabbos, they did not listen to your protest. So I mean, you can enjoy the benefit, but at least you have to protest and tell them not to. Okay. Okay. The law pertaining to hiring non-Jew workers for such jobs as construction, farming, gardening, and the like are complex, and the competent halachic authority must be consulted with regard to any questions that arise regarding the matter. See Igros Moshe or Chaim volume 3, chapter 35. So meaning what, that to feed the animals. So these people most likely, like especially today in the today world, right? They do operate all the machinery on Shabbos for sure. Right? He's not going to milk your cows by hand, right? Right? Just because it's Shabbos, so it's much more complicated. Okay. So yeah, that's why you need to talk to competent halachic authority before hiring somebody. Continue. If the field is situated in a distant area, so meaning like if the fields, the way I understand, is like away from the city, such as no Jew lives within the distance Tchum Shabbos from it, right? It is permitted to arrange in arrangement of hiring for a specific amount of as well, as long as Idolater is not a day laborer. So meaning again, it must be for a contract. It's not like a day laborer, meaning that you're paying for Shabbos. So when it's a contractor, so you're paying for a job. He can do it on Shabbos. He can do it on Friday or Monday. Okay, so that's a huge difference. So commentaries say that Tchum Shabbos, Shabbos boundary, is the area beyond which one may not travel on Shabbos. Tchum is 2,000 amos, right? It's between 0.6 and 0.7 miles, right? Which is 0.6 and 1.15 kilometers. So approximately 1 kilometer or 0.6 miles. Okay. So, right. See Appendix A for once halachically defined residence on Shabbos. The laws of Tchum are set forth below in CF 95. Okay, so we're going to get so basically, what is Tchum Shabbos? We spoke about it in. What did we spoke about it? Actually, yeah, no, this Wednesday class. So today is Wednesday, so we misplaced classes. Okay, on this Shabbos laws class, so we said that from the last house of the city, you can walk like I think 70 amos, right? So from the last, and from that you count from the last house, you count this 2,000 amos. Okay. So meaning if it's that far, so it's not very far. Right? What is it, like maybe 15 minutes walk, maybe a little less, 10 minutes, I don't know, whatever minutes walk, right? So but still, it's pretty far. So people usually don't go there to the fields unless, I don't know, there is a special need. So meaning if a non-Jew is going to work in the field, nobody's going to see him, so there is no problem. Right. So we commented on that, and right, as long as one second. It is permitted in this arrangement of hiring a specific amount as well, right? So again, he's not a day worker, but a contractor. Commentary: since the work site is out of Tchum, meaning the Jew is not going to work there if he lives in the city. If he lives there, that's a different story. It would not be allowed, right? But if he lives in a city, so and it's beyond the Tchum, so meaning he's not going to go there and not going to see this non-Jew working. So that's the rationale. So commentary says, since the work site is out of Tchum, there is no possibility that it will be seen by a passing Jew who may think that the work is being performed in prohibited manner. Let's see Mishnah Berurah 244, 9, 12, and 13. Okay, I think we can stop here. Yeah, let's stop here. So that's we cover the fifth condition.